My story began in spring of 1999. 3 weeks after I graduated from Lawrence High, I found myself and my boyfriend looking at a pregnancy test with the little pink plus on it. It was terrifying. We felt very alone. As a preacher's daughter, there was a level of shame that came with it. I knew that if my parents ever found out that I was pregnant, I would be an embarrassment to them, to the church, and I really felt at that time that abortion was the only option for me. It would just make this whole mess go away. I didn't have to deal with it. Things would just go back to the way they were. My boyfriend picked up a side job to make $300 to pay for the abortion. I remember sitting there at the dining room table. It was 11 o'clock in the morning, and I sat there filling out the paperwork. I got it all done, and I looked at him and I said, I can't do this. I can't have an abortion. And he was very excited, to my surprise, and he said, okay, then let's get married. And I said, oh my goodness, oh, okay, all right. And we took the $300 that was to be used for the abortion and went and got this wedding ring. We ended up having our little boy Hunter in February of 2000. I will tell you that our marriage was no Cinderella story. I like to say we were babies raising a baby. When Hunter was 4 years old, we found ourselves on Nottingham Road, living across the street from a wonderful lady named Julia Vila, and I shortly found out that she shared the same story as me. We swapped stories. There was a comfort in knowing that there were other moms out there as young as me, raising babies, facing the same struggles I was facing as a young mom, and feeling like I had missed out on a portion of my childhood. And she told me about the center, and so I knew right away after her telling me about the center that I had to be involved in some way, shape, or form. And I quit my then job and took on the position as client care coordinator, and I loved it. I saw that God could use my story on a daily basis to help other women. Making the decision to have Hunter, who is now 19 years old, was the best decision. It's amazing to see how much God has used not only my story but his life to impact others. He found out when he was in 4th grade my story, and at first he was shocked, but since then he's been able to tell others, talk to his friends, talk to his schoolmates, and been able to I want to say correct the way they're thinking. And he was able to tell his story from his point of view, and I know for a fact that his story he was able to share with a friend of his, and there's another baby. The center was able to do their sonogram and was able to talk to the dad-to-be and the mom, and because of Hunter and his story, there's another baby here. I believe having the center in Lawrence is priceless. There is so many levels that the center reaches: the spiritual level, the emotional level, mental, and the physical. The spiritual level that the center brings to help women is by sharing God's love and by reaching them at a level that I think a secular center couldn't do. There's an element of having the Holy Spirit and the Lord involved that ministers to women. And then the emotional level, these women have a place to cry and to laugh, to have hope, and to know that there is a future. And then on the mental level, I don't think, unless you've been in that situation, the mental chaos that a woman feels. We're multitaskers. We start asking ourselves a lot of what ifs. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna pay for that? How am I gonna figure this out? And to sit across from somebody who's willing to plan things out, to work with you, is extremely valuable. And then on the physical level, not a website, not a phone call, but to go somewhere physically, sit across from someone, have them be able to pray with you, to hug you, to love on you, and then the experience of going to the store, and they were so excited to shop and to pick out baby clothes or to get things that they needed, from diapers and formula, which is ridiculously expensive, and to know that the work that they're putting in to enriching their own lives and their babies' lives, there's a reward at the end. And it's just fun to watch. And it was probably one of the highlights of my day when I worked there. The way the center brings hope and future to women, which first of all are strong words, to a woman who's facing an unplanned pregnancy, those almost feel unreachable. You feel like you are never gonna have a future. You get so focused on the now. Hope is one thing that feels like an emotion that you're not going to have. And going to the center, having these women love on you and speak life to you, give you dreams, and knowing that this is just right now, but let's look a month down the road, a year down the road. What are your goals? What do you as a woman also have planned? Knowing that there is more than just right now, I believe the center gives that. And just wrapping their arms around you and loving on you.